that in 2018 or thereabouts, I quickly remember that we had an African financial security group that looked into why most African countries are so much impoverished despite our enormous resources, and why it has remained that way over the years. If you check other countries we started with that were equally poor, like Singapore, like Dubai, and a few other countries, especially the ones in the Gulf area, that were coming to borrow money from us. How come they have left us behind? So if you look at that report at the African Financial Security Group, I'll give you a copy to read, Mr. Say. It's a very interesting report. It analyzes the World Bank properly. What is the World Bank? You know, the official name for the World Bank is called International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. That is the real name. It's only us that is calling it World Bank. The actual name, the official name, is International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. It's the very disturbing thing that we find out is that in the provision of World Bank preambles, membership is 186 members. It is almost the whole world. That is why it's called World Bank. But it provides financing and advice for development countries only. I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yes.
It is a World Bank, but it only provides money and advice and research for only developing countries. So the question is, those of us who are in security circles, why is the World Bank only for developing countries? Then you look at those that make up the World Bank. I think the first group there is the IDA, International Development Association. That's the first group. I remember four of them very clearly. It's in the report. And the second group there is the International Finance Corporation. And then the third one is it's called the MIGA, the MIGA, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. And the last one is the International Center for Settlement of Disputes. This is where we are equally concerned in settlement of disputes, security and settlement of disputes. See, the World Bank is a product of the Western world, meant specifically for developing countries. So, what we're talking about is that the world economy that is in competition, one of the groups of the competitors is the advisor and the provider of funds to one of these competition. So the man you're in competition with is providing the advice, also providing the conditions for the loans. And look at the last group that we got interested in. The last group was the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. Mr. C, what I'm telling you is that the man who gives you the advice is the one who gives you the money. It's also the one who settles the dispute whenever there is one. Do you now wonder why every African country that has borrowed from World Bank have been impoverished and they cannot even pay back the loans? They have always defaulted in the loans. That is where we are. You remember some years ago, I think it was when Barangira was there, he came up with the advice from the World Bank. That advice was for what he called structural adjustment. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
It was structural adjustment. They said that our currency was too overvalued, that the value of the naira was too high. It has to come down. And for some reason, because most of our policymakers are all Western trained, they tend to believe that the World Bank, who is giving you money, Who is the one advising you? Who is the one who is settling also with the dispute? That World Bank wants to continuously and perpetually impoverish you so that you can remain subservient to them. That is what we have had. Even when Obasanjo took over, Obasanjo's first tenure, if I can remember, it was the austerity measure program from Obasanjo. It was also a World Bank advice. Your competitor is advising you. When you are taking advice from your competitor, what do you do? He is also the one that settles the dispute. Mr. C, I'm not trying to justify the problems we have in the country today. But I'm trying to give us a foundation so that we can understand where our trouble started. You cannot be borrowing money from somebody. He is the one who advises you on the conditions of the borrowing. He is the one who provides the funding. He is also the one who settles the dispute when one arises. These are the four agencies that make up the financial group of the World Bank.
I mean, it's a fantastic background there, but one would say the Nigerian government, currently led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has initiated certain currency reforms, the floating of the naira and the rest of it. And the government seems to be genuinely in the belief that it's just going to be a matter of time. Nigerians will begin to enjoy the benefits of these reforms.
Well, I'm not very sure of that. If you see what we have right now, it has become a little bit endemic. When you, like we say in Nigeria, whatever goes up does not come down. When it goes up, does it really come down? The truth of the matter remains that, yes, as much as we have this problem from Western group, where that they consistently want us to remain perpetually slaves economically to them, we look at our own internal problem. It was only recently that we got to know that between Jonathan and Buhari, the crude shell of the country has extended up to 2027. Buhari and Jonathan have sold our crude. So it was used as collateral for foreign loans up to 2027. That is where you create problems for yourself. Secondly, we don't have economy that is working. All our companies we have, all the factories we have, all the manufacturing places we have, they are no more there. They have turned to churches. We now go to churches and we pray to God. We first of all close our factory, then go to church and pray to God to give us jobs and give us money and improve our economy. It does not work that way. One other major problem we have had, and for which we have advised government, is the inability. The major problem we have is the inability of political office holders to adjust to the proper trend of the economy of the country. What do I mean by that? Look at the way the presidency is still working. Presidency is not working like a country where there's a problem financially. The president, after even having 11 private jets, they are not private jets, I'm sorry, the presidential jets, we still went and bought a 15-year-old jet for $150 million. 15 years old jet for $150 million. It's not a country that is serious with wanting to help its citizenry recover economically. That is not a country that is doing that. So look at how those in government are, both at the federal, state, and local government. Look at how they are living. Look at the presidency. The ministers are still all over the world, truncated around the world, leaving their offices here. And each time they leave the country, they are going to spend foreign exchange. They're not going to spend naira. So that pressure will remain on the dollar. The demand is on the dollar. The ministers, the palm sets, the directors, heads of parastatals, they are not in the country. They're all over the world, truncated. Mr. C, give me one state governor that has within 2 months remained in Nigeria. Just name one. He's either attending a conference somewhere, he's either attending a meeting somewhere, or attending all kinds of arrangements, leaving us here. And when they go with the retinue of AIDS. These are foreign exchange. Well, tell me one head of any of the agencies, our agencies or any of the parastatals, within 2 weeks that stays in Nigeria. This is a weekly thing. They are all over the world on taking. So as much as we blame the world for some of our problems, inwardly we have a big problem. If the government does not cut down from all these expenditures, there will not be any solution in sight.
Well, obviously, the downturn or the report of the depreciation of the naira would most definitely have a bearing on the economy of the country in some way. And there's a lot already happening. Nigerians crying of hardship never ever before seen in this country. Recently, in just 1 month, there was a hike in the price of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, by the NNPCL. Apparently, this agitated the former Minister of Transformation and former Governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, who granted an interview with ABN TV, where he said, hey, he's baffled that Nigerians, despite the economic pressures they are facing, have yet to hit the street to protest. In his words, he said, I expected more agitation, especially from the youth. I thought we would see protests in the streets, but it seems people are not expressing the kind of anger I expected. Those were the words of the former minister. He continued by saying, you cannot have a situation where a group of people are mismanaging resources and expect citizens to remain silent. I'm truly baffled by the lack of action. What's your take?
Yes, first of all, let me comment on the increment by the NNPC Limited. I read very clearly the conditions and conditionalities that are made NUC and TUC and Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC. I read the understanding they had with government in accepting 70,000 naira as the minimum wage. Because the government said, if you want us to pay 250,000 a month, then we have to increase fuel prices. And to show patriotism, NLC and TUC said, no, we don't want increment in petrol prices. Let us settle for 70,000. Why will you settle for 70,000 and you go back to increase that same fuel, for which was the condition for accepting 70,000 as minimum wage? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Oh, yes.
We have written to government to say, government should be credible. We have to have integrity in government. What people are doing now is horrible. It is unacceptable. Then, as to former Minister Rotimi Amechi's comments that he is surprised that people are not protesting, I don't want to glorify later-day saints. I don't want to glorify them. In security, we don't just look at the message. We look at the messenger. We put together the message and the messenger together. Then you can be properly make a good judgment. Rotimi Amechi has all his life been in government. He was SA to the governor of Rivers State, Peter Odili. From there, I remember very clearly, he became a member of the State Assembly in Rivers State. He became the Speaker of the House of Assembly in Rivers. He became two-term governor of Rivers State for 8 years. He was minister for 8 years. Through his tenure, what value has he brought to the people? We don't want to glorify those who have suddenly become saints. If you have remained in criminality all these years, suddenly you told us that the Holy Ghost have called you and you are now a saint. we have to look at you from an angle, very suspicious angle. This is a man, when he was Minister for Transport, he built rail from Katsina to the Niger Republic. He did not just stop in one location in the Niger Republic. He provided about 5 rail stops inside the Niger Republic, just to please those who gave him job. He said, this is a man who went and established Transport University in Katsina. There's no single rail or single transport development or transportation development in his own state or in the south. Well, now he wanted to be president. They promised him they are going to make him president, and they failed him. Now he has bad belly. I don't believe I have to comment for him on a positive note. As much as I know that the nation is suffering, as much as I believe that our people ought to frustratingly show government that we don't like what is going on, I don't believe I can take advice from people like Rotimi Amechi. Never. I don't think I can take instruction or take the direction from later day saints. Those who have remained there all this while, enjoying themselves at the detriment of the rest of the community, at the detriment of the rest of his own people, and stayed in government all these years.
Well, it's Open Parliament still live on the frequency. Interpol Systems consultant and security expert, Chikwe Udensi, our guest. I don't know, I guess we have lost communications. Are you there, sir?
You can hear me loud and clear.
Oh, yeah, very well now. Okay, well, we're going to move away from the Rotimi Amechi's story on his not very good with Nigerians yet to hit the street to maybe register their grievance with regards to the economic hardship in the country. When the Supreme Court sometime in July this year reached a verdict affirming local government autonomy for the 774 local government areas in the country, Nigerians, a lot of them did celebrate that verdict, calling it a landmark verdict. Apparently, that would strengthen democracy in the country. Maybe not a lot of Nigerians knew that there could be a leeway still, particularly provided for in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where governors could capitalize on to maybe further bring back the days of yore. Well, the Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, he has warned that granting full autonomy to Nigeria's 774 local government areas could lead to what he called humongous chaos. Well, he argued that such a move would not result in sustainable development. Well, he made this statement yesterday at the Governor's Lodge in Oka after signing the Anambra State Local Government Administration Law 2024 as passed by the State House of Assembly, emphasizing that Section 7 of the Constitution empowers state governments to enact laws for the administration of local government areas. In his words exactly, quote, he said, the absolute autonomy to the 774 local government areas in the country is an impossibility. In fact, it is a recipe for humongous chaos. The attendant challenges before the issue of local government autonomy are such that would certainly deepen the fate of the system and spell doom for the expected beneficiaries of the process, if not well planned. The new laws by Anambra House of Assembly are therefore consequential to give operational life to the Supreme Court judgment and not to undermine it. If the State House of Assembly abdicates this constitutional duty, the local government will then have no law on the use and management of its finance. What's your take on this comment? Is it shocking?
Not really shocking, no. Do not forget, Mr. C, that for 2 terms, for 6 years, I was the Secretary General of Algon. I was the administrative head of that pivotal body of the local government, 774 local governments. I managed their policies, joint projects, and joint activities. So I'm on the front row to understand exactly what the situation is. I understand his sentiments very, very clearly. Do not also forget that before 1999, before the constitution that established these rules for local government, the military was in charge. And also we had local government then. We had difficulties of allowing the chairman meet the obligations of administering local governments. Salaries were being owed for a long time, even when monies went directly to local governments. There is a body that we tried to work very closely with when I was the Secretary General of ALGON. That body is called the NOLGE, the Nigerian Union for Local Government Employees. They were always at loggerhead with ALGON being their orga, being their heads, the local government chairman. And these ones are the employees. So you can imagine the relationship that existed between ALGON and NOLGE. NOLGE is at the helm of saying, yes, we want local government autonomy, but please do not allow the local government chairman to pay us salaries, because we shall be owed salaries. They are only trying to leverage on the previous experience they have had. So this is the business on which I understand the Anambra State Governor is coming from. But let me look into exactly what he said, the Anambra State Governor, and also look at the law, a little bit at the law which he has put together. First of all, as he was starting to speak, I listened to him very clearly. He said that being a state governor is not a fanciful job. That he is not even enjoying it. So what is he still doing there? Is it a prison? Is it by force? Is this a man who went to the whole local government begging to be given the job? If you find that the job is no more, according to you, fanciful, we leave it now. Let some other person take over. I believe that he was not being honest by saying he was not enjoying the office of the governor. He wasn't being very honest. So let us look at the laws he has put together. And he put these laws together, and he gave reasons why he put the laws together. I hope you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
He says that no tier of government, whether federal, state, or local government, can function independently without the other. So that there has to be some collaborative effort, which is understandable. He also says that the new local government law is enabling in Anambra is to enhance the judgment of the Supreme Court. And he also mentioned Section 7 of the Constitution that allows the state governments to make laws for local governments. These are understandable. In fact, if you look at the duties of local governments, first of all, primary education, both infrastructure and payment of salaries, that is capital and recurrent expenditures. If you also look at the primary health care, which is one of the major rules of local government, especially as it is provided for in Section 7 of the Constitution of 1999 as amended. You also look at other areas like registration of debt, marriages, management of tax, management of markets, etc., etc. So he is saying that the meager resources that is coming to local governments is not enough to sustain this. If that's his way he is coming from, it's understandable. It is okay. But let me tell you my concern, Mr. C. My concern is very, very clear. If you read, I got a copy of the state local government laws. If you read through it, you will see that it is not honestly intended to support the Supreme Court judgment. It is intended to circumvent it very clearly. Look at Section 13(1). It says the Anambra State law, the state government shall maintain a state joint and local government account. That is what joint account is talking about. That is what we are saying cannot happen. That's what the Supreme Court say it shouldn't happen. If you look at also section 14.3, if I remember very clearly, I remember it says that each local government shall remit a state-determined percentage within 2 working days of receiving the allocation. That is what we are going away from. We can't allow it. It is at variance with the Supreme Court judgment. And the other one that even surprises me was the next section of that law, which is 14.4, which says, if I can remember very clearly, says that if the state government receives local government allocation on their behalf, that it must deduct specific percentage before disbursing the remaining amount to the local government. That is not acceptable. That is exactly what is rejected by the Supreme Court judgment. I hope Governor Soludo understands exactly what he's doing, and I hope that he's properly been advised by the legal luminaries we have in Anambra State. We have a lot of lawyers, senior advocates of Nigeria. I hope we have enough there that will advise him that he cannot make any law that is at variance with the provisions of the Supreme Court judgment, which is been implemented. If he does that, he will be violating seriously our laws. Knowing that the Supreme Court can make laws, it's not just a court of justice. The Supreme Court, within our laws, within the provisions of our laws, can make laws themselves. And this is one of the laws they have made. And I hope he does not do anything to prejudice the interests of that judgment.
Well, we'll be looking at Abia when we return from a break. We'll be going on a break right now. But before we delve into that, after the break, still in his contention and in his words on the day, he said, the essence of putting the money together is not for the governors to put it in their pockets. If local government wakes up one day and can't pay salaries or gratuities, who will intervene for them? That is the beautiful thing that these laws would avoid. It is designed to unleash the creative powers of the LG, as well as novel accountability and ingenuity. We'll have you react to that, but let's do that break. It's Open Parliament. Interpol Systems consultant and security expert, Chikwe Udensi, our guest. My name is Mr. C. Stay with us.
Introducing ABN Radio and Television, your new favorite app. Stay informed, entertained, and connected with the latest news, music, and videos from Nigeria and beyond. Download the ABN Radio and Television app now on Google Play and enjoy. Live streaming of news, sports, music, and entertainment programs. On-demand access to your favorite shows and podcasts. Breaking news updates and notifications. Exclusive videos and interviews. Personalized experience with customizable settings. Get started in 3 easy steps. Open Google Play Store on your device. Search for ABN Radio/TV. Click install and start enjoying your new favorite app. Join the ABN Radio/Television community today and stay connected to what matters most. Introducing ABN Radio and Television, your new favorite app. Stay informed, entertained, and connected with the latest news, music, and videos from Nigeria and beyond. Download the ABN Radio and Television app now on Google Play and enjoy. Live streaming of news, sports, music, and entertainment programs. On-demand access to your favorite shows and podcasts. Breaking news updates and notifications. Exclusive videos and interviews. Personalized experience with customizable settings. Get started in 3 easy steps. Open Google Play Store on your device. Search for ABN Radio/TV. Click install and start enjoying your new favorite app. Join the ABN Radio/Television community today and stay connected to what matters most.
This is ABN TV, where the world is on your screen, bringing you news like you've never seen. From headlines to highlights, we are your guide. ABN TV. Let's take you for a ride. Your stories, your world, your channel. ABN TV. This is ABN TV, where the world is on your screen, bringing you news like you've never seen. From headlines to highlights, we are your guide. ABN TV. Let's take you for a ride. Your stories, your world, your channel. ABN TV. This is ABN TV, where the world is on your screen, bringing you news like you've never seen. From headlines to highlights, we are your guide. ABN TV. Let's take you for a ride. Your stories, your world, your channel. ABN TV.
Guest Interpol Systems Consultant and Security Expert Chikwe Udensi is still here. My name is Mr. C. Well, before the break, we were looking at what's going on in Anambra State, permutations that some state governors might want to duplicate it in their own domains as well, talking about the local government laws in those states. But the question is, and just like has been said by Governor Soludo of Anambra State, that, hey, what happens where some local government that may not be buoyant enough to pay salaries and gratuities, bereft of the funds? Who intervenes? Hence the need for this law in our states.
Yes, I listened to him. I listened to him say that neither the Constitution nor the Supreme Court made provisions for appropriation, expenditure, and also oversight functions like audits and accountability of local government funds. That's what he said. But you have forgotten that what you have at the federal, you also have at the state, you also have at the local government. That is why it's called 3 tiers of government. There are 3 full tiers of government. The local government, just like the state and federal government, they have the executive, they have the legislature, and they also have the judiciary. The chairman of local government make up the executive plus their supervisory councillors. The legislature in the local government is made by the councillors. Elected councillors are those legislators. And they're the ones who have oversight functions in the activities of the executive. And then, like you know, the magistrate courts, which in some areas they are called municipal courts, they are called local government courts. The magistrate courts are the judiciary of the local government. So all these things are there. The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. It's not lacking. If you are able to manage your own in the state, please allow the local governments to manage theirs. If you are able to manage your own at the federal level, please let the local governments manage theirs. They have all the oversight functions. They have everything to decide on how to run it. To suggest that the new law will establish what they call State Economic Planning Board to decide on joint accounts and common services. That is wrong. That is what we are saying. It's against the provisions of the judgment of the Supreme Court.
Well, let's touch Abia now, where the Abia chapter of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners have disclosed that efforts to have the Governor, Dr. Alex Otti, revisit the Articles 7A and B of the Memorandum of Agreement on waiving of arrears of pensions and gratuities have not yielded any result. The NUP said a press conference might suffice to open up and let the public know the whole truth about the Memorandum of Agreement if the government continues to ignore all passionate appeals. Well, the NUP stated this in a communique issued at the end of the enlarged State Council meeting held on Thursday, 10th October 2024 at the Pensioners House, Oguribe Layout in Umoy. I'm sure you've seen the communique.
Yes, I saw the communique, Mr. C. And don't forget that the issue of the welfare of pensioners is very passionate to me. It is an area I've spent so much resources and so much time because of how I felt about the neglect of the affairs and welfare of pensioners. So the day I heard that the state government has cleared all arrears of pensions and gratuity in other state, I was in celebration mode. In fact, some of my staff said they have not seen me in this kind of celebration. I was very happy to hear that the arrears have been cleared. And then I was calling state government officials and I was congratulating them, those I know. I was thanking them for a job well done. And this is what we have been looking forward to. And this is a great job. Not long afterwards, I received a call from one of the pensioners who was also asking me to help him with some of his needs. And I said, no, I can't help you. The government has cleared your pension and gratuity. Why are you calling me again to start helping you? He told me it is not true, that I should verify properly. I said, okay, let me now find out the truth. That is when I started calling around, Mr. C. I called every head, every chairman of the pensioners union in the local governments. I have their records. I was working with them, and they explained to me the true position. They said that what the government has given to them is the balance of the 6 months the government was owing them. And that to their surprise and shock, that the government has made the union executives to sign that they are going to forgo the balance of the 9 years arrears and pension. I didn't believe it, Mr. C. I was in shock. I didn't believe it. I called the head of the pension union. I called their chairman. I said, what is going on? Is it true? What I'm hearing, is it true? He said, yes. That what the government has just paid them is a balance of the 6 months owed by this same government. Nothing in the previous arrears of pension and gratuity has been paid to them. The question is, government says there's a memorandum of agreement we have signed. Well, let me explain to you one of the things that disturbed me so much, and which was explained to me by the chairman of the pension union. You know what he said, Mr. Singh? He said that he was invited by government to attend the meeting by 1 o'clock. He would not be there from 1 o'clock till 8:30 in the night. No food, no drink, no water. For those number of hours, he was there waiting for government to attend to them. And suddenly, when he was exhausted, tired, frustrated, and wants to go, they brought a document for him to sign. This is the chairman of the pension union talking, Mr. C. And it has made me ask myself several questions. I have asked this question to myself. And each time I ask this question, I feel so sad. I said, can any worker who sincerely worked for 35 years and in retirement contemplate ever forgiving his pension and gratuity? And in the very second question that disturbs me so much, Mr. C, for which I keep asking, can any government, whether it is federal, state, or local government, in good conscience, in all honesty and fair play, can they contemplate in whatever manner asking local pensioners who are already suffering and dying to forgo their pensions and gratuity? Can any human soul do that? That is what questions I've asked myself. So the truth has remained. In fact, when the former commissioner for finance came to open parliament, that was when it became very clear to us that the truth is that the state government, they are doing very well. Don't get me wrong, Mr. C. I'm not critical to the extent to which I don't recognize the good job they are doing right now. The state government is doing a good job right now. Even to be able to pay pensioners consistently every month, it's a good job. To be able to pay workers consistently, which we were not having before, it's a very good job. It's a pass mark. But to suggest that pensioners who have put in 35 years of their youth in the service of their nation, service of their community, service of their state, should forgo their entitlements of 9 years is unconscionable.
All right. Let's get to the phone line 0816-111-5955 or 0907-103-6625. 1 minute 30 seconds if you come through. Open Parliament. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. C.
Good morning to you.
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Good morning, Sir Chikwe Udensi.
Good morning, sir.
Who say man is the name I'm calling from Umaya.
Welcome.
So I want to thank you once again for being bold and courageous enough to speak truth to the authority. I came into loving you because of your passion for the downtrodden, especially the what's it called, the pensioners and the teachers. This is what I even preached in past administrations. So if peradventure we've known how the effort that you've put in making sure that pensioners are being relieved in terms of their sufferings via palliatives. So it's a welcome development. But unfortunately, the government of the day have led that Dr. Alex Oti has not been transparent enough. They have not been truthful. When I said that any foundation that is laid on lies will never stand the test of time, you see their followers will come on air to insult and attack us. These are the things pensioners will are tricked to forfeit their gratuities and in this harsh economy. We're not talking about workers. Other workers are not privileged to call you or to tell us what they are going through today in the new area. It's not that the allocation that was received by past administration is something with this current administration. The way we talk about local government, they use the norms of local government to borrow over 56 billion naira in not even done election. So why are we going to reconcile this thing in the new area?
Thank you.
The governor, he promised us heaven and earth and made others to vote for him, especially the workers. He told them that you're going to do this and this.
Thank you very much. Your point is noted. Thank you. We appreciate. 1 minute 30 seconds. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. C.
Good morning to you.
Blaze Adele.
Welcome. 1 minute 30 seconds.
Yeah, on Soludo issue, that man or that governor, Governor Soludo, has presented himself as a bad example to the Southeast governor. It's really a bad example. So how can he go and make a deal so that the local government money will not be used directly by the local government as it was stated by the law? But I want to tell his chairman in the local government council in Anambra, they should understand that they will be held responsible for any misappropriation of any local government fund. They themselves, the chairman, they will be held responsible. So whatsoever they are doing with Soludo, they should know it and they should record it and they should know they are there for the people and not for Soludo. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you. Straight to the point. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Morning, Mr. Sir.
Good morning.
I know that you've killed people coming here.
Welcome.
How are you? Good morning. You see, the way you talk, we are very concerned me at this about the state. I remember when I was on a day for state. I go there, I really beat me that day, I never forget them. I record that for my phone. He talk say no go start any workers. He talk there and say, I will clear salary, pensioners, and gratuity. In fact, the kind of English way can you speak that day, the thing touch my body. You have people wait there for state on the clap. You remember after this thing, this pensioners, in fact, are the number one people that contributed to make sure that they change this government. A lot of them, they love them. DSS infected their leaders, everything, I know what happened. But if the some people actually now, you tell them to forfeit their gratuity after somebody work for 30-something years. My brother, this one, you don't work at all. I know they are hearing you. This is not the campaign promises. So, in the video road, in the area, people they die. People they want they die.
Thank you.
The question that is coming, 15 billion.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let him go after them all. Let him go after them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your take. We appreciate. We have another caller. Hello, good morning to you.
Mr. C, remain prophetically listed.
Good morning.
Chikwe Udensi, you will never go down in life. Excellent. Well, what Alesosi was campaigning, he said he will not sack any worker. It's what he said when he was campaigning. When he won, get me right, though. When he was campaigning, he said he will not sack. When he never won, you see them recruiting 18,000, 20,000 workers. President Beckham was shouting, see, somebody has won the election. Excellent, the great prophet was sounding prophetically. Somebody has won the election. When the person, they started recruiting, started increasing workers. They said that they will promote them. They started promoting them. This godly man came into power and saw those things, started doing the network. You have seen it. Mr. Chikwe Udensi, you gave us fatherly advice. You're giving us fatherly advice. So I will still give you prophetic advice. After this, typical issue. Typical issue. You said that all the things you said about typical is what we encounter in United States when you were saying that they were calling you a counter politician. When they lost election, you still again they apologize. They are now born again. If you sin against God, if you sin against Father, you will be forgiven.
Thank you.
God, forgiven. But you sin against Holy God,
Thank you.
Forgiven.
Thank you very much.
I will not give you the prophetic advice. Please, finally, prophetic advice I want to give you as a prophet is that please, I would like you to run. We will be one of the governors. Not at the platform of APC or PDP.
Thank you very much. 1 minute, 30 seconds done. Well, we'll be going to guests shortly, but we'll take a call or two before we do that. We have a caller here. So good morning.
Hello, Mr. C, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Chikwe Udensi. Good morning, sir. My name is Kole Chidadem Namugu. You see, one thing even there I don't listen to you, sir. I feel that something is missing in my life. Because the way you present it, the honesty that I hear from your voice gives me confidence that one day Nigeria will be better. You see, what is happening here in Nigeria, and particularly in Abia State today, is a case of all that glitters are not gold. People make promises when they are outside the game. When they come into the game, they change the goalpost. That is what Dr. Alesosi is trying, consistently proving to us. Especially as it concerns the pensioners. It's mind-boggling. And then look at today, as I speak today, the Minister of Justice, all the judicial workers, they are threatening to go on strike because every palliative and everything that you're supposed to, and the autonomy the federal government has granted onto them, this government, this new area has consistently refused to abide by it. Let us watch how it goes. That's my take this one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Time fast spent. We'll get to our guest this morning. Your reaction to the callers and your parting words, sir.
Yes, during the commercial break, Mr. C, I heard the announcement by the state government. My attention was clearly drawn to it because it came from the SA to the governor. Mr. Chikwe Udensi. Mr. Chikwe Udensi is a very intelligent, very professional son of Abia State, very, very intelligent, very, very respectable son of Abia State. And when I heard him talking about verification of pensioners in Umahia, are we still of verification? Well, I have access to him. I'll have to find out. This is disturbing. I thought the verification that had commenced all this time would have finished. I will call him. He's a very intelligent, a very respectable member of our society. He was in the banking sector and excelled massively to the extent to which he was moved as a director to the central bank. He's a very prominent and ebullient son of Abia State. Are we still continuing with this verification of pensioners? Are we still putting them through this hassle, through this stress of asking them to bring all kinds of documents and come and stand on the line when we know that some of them have died standing on the lines? Let us do these verifications online. That is where the world is moving to. The world has gone beyond all this stress. People can no more come and start standing on the line after the verification of pensioners is over. I will verify from him. I was a little disturbed. I was a bit carried away when I heard this, and I was a bit disturbed. Coming from somebody like him, one has to take it serious, and I'll have the need to reach out to him.
Well, we're going to leave it here. Thank you very much, Sir Chikwe Udensi, for your time once again.
Thank you very much for always having me, Mr. C.
Interpol Systems consultant and security expert, Sir Chikwe Udensi, our guest. The return same time, same station next week, God willing. Nonetheless, Thursday edition of Open Parliament comes through on this frequency. Next is the newsroom at 10. My name is Mr. C. Stay with us.
This is ABN TV, where the world is on your screen, bringing you news like you've never seen. From headlines to highlights, we are your guide, ABN TV. Let's take you for a ride. Your stories, your world, your channel, ABN